Welcome out to a brand new video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you the top 10 underrated perks in Dead by Daylight. These are perks that you don't really see many people using, but they actually have a really good effect in game. And in today's video I want to go ahead and share some of these with you. So at number 10 we have Deja Vu, which the aura of 3 generators which are in close proximity to one another are revealed to you. You gain a 6% repair speed bonus to the revealed generators. Now, I'm quite surprised a lot of people don't run this, because a 6% to repair speed is pretty good, and it definitely slips under the radar when it comes to underrated. I think people should be using this more. It's a very good perk. I've used it a few times myself, and again, I mean, there are 2 big benefits. Obviously, a 6% repair speed bonus, but also just seeing the aura of the 3 generators that are closest to each other. It just means that it's going to be very hard for you to get 2 or 3 gen, you know, where they're all in close proximity, and the killer can just keep guard on all of them. So it's a very useful perk, and highly recommend that you use it. Coming in at the number 9 spot, and I should very quickly say this is in no order, we have Blast Mine. This is actually a personal favorite of mine, and I'll go ahead and read exactly what it does, but this perk is really useful. So Blast Mine activates after completing a total of 50% worth of repair progress on generators. While standing next to a generator, press the active ability button 2 to install a blast mine which stays active for 120 seconds. When the killer damages a generator, the blast mine explodes, stunning them and blinding anyone nearby. Now this actually, so it blinds them and stuns them for about 4 seconds, which is really useful. A lot of the time the killer will go ahead and hit your generator. That will go ahead and do it, so obviously, you know, it starts regressing. If they are wanting to chase you and they hit the generator that you're working on, this is stupidly useful because it allows you to have that 4 or 5 seconds to actually run away, maybe get onto another generator or hide, or pretty much just anything. It gives you those vital few seconds to get away, and you can start working on another generator. What's great about this perk is that you can go ahead and restart getting this perk up once they hit that generator if you've already installed a mine on it. So you can go ahead and get yourself another blast mine. Again, it's probably one of my favorite perks to use because it is very underrated, but it's also very good as well. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have Will Make It. This really slips under the radar as well. If you are using a kind of healing build or something similar to that, Will Make It is probably one of the best perks that you can absolutely use. When you rescue a survivor off a hook, you gain 100% increase to healing others for 90 seconds. When you compare this, or when you pair this with like a med kit and stuff like that, it makes it incredibly fast to heal people. We're talking literally about 2 seconds to heal someone fully. Really useful. Couldn't recommend it anymore. Coming in at the number 7 spot, it's another one that I very rarely see people use, and that's Second Wind. When you have healed other survivors for the equivalent of 1 health state, Second Wind activates. If you're already afflicted by the broken status effect, then it doesn't activate. While Second Wind is activated, the next time you are unhooked or you unhook yourself, you are affected by the broken status effect. After a total duration of 20 seconds, Second Wind automatically heals you from injured to healthy. This can be useful, especially again if you are going to be running some kind of like healer build. This can be really useful because it just means that you're not going to have to heal yourself. You don't have to waste your kind of medkit on yourself. You can literally get yourself healed by putting this perk on. Okay, coming in at the number 6 spot, and I know this is seen as a bit of a mean perk, but it's actually got some use. Plot twist. So hear me out. This actually has a lot of good uses, and I don't think many people actually understand how powerful this perk is. Plot twist activates when you are injured. Press the ability button 2 while crouched and motionless to enter the dying state silently. When using plot twist to enter the dying state, you leave no blood pools and you make no noise, and you can fully recover from the dying state. When you recover by yourself using plot twist, you are healed instantly and you gain 50% haste for 4 seconds. Again, if you don't want to be, kind of using a medkit or anything like that, plot twist is pretty much a good alternative to use. Also, a very quick thing to mention as well, yes, this perk does deactivate if you recover by yourself by any means, but it does reactivate when the exit gates are powered. So coming in at number 5, very similar to the number 7 perk, we do have Inner Strength. Pretty much it's exactly the same, but it's just slightly different. Each time you complete a totem cleanse action, Inner Strength activates. If you are already afflicted by the broken status effect, Inner Strength does not activate. While Inner Strength is active, hiding inside the lock for 8 seconds while injured automatically heals you from injured to healthy. And again, it becomes deactivated as soon as it is successfully triggered. However, you can actually go ahead and repeat this. If you go ahead, complete another totem cleanse action, it'll reactivate. You can heal yourself, and if you become injured again, complete another totem cleanse. Keep going. You can keep it cycling backwards and forwards, and you can use this as many times. It's actually pretty good perk. Coming in at number 4, again another one of my favorites, is Cut Loose. After performing a rushed vault in a chase, this perk activates. While this perk is active, your rushed vaults are silent for up to 6 seconds, and successfully performing a rushed vault during that time resets the timer. Pretty much, if you are in like a kind of jungle gym or anything like that, you can go ahead and keep fast vaulting and they won't hear you. They won't get a notification or anything like that. So this is really useful if you are trying to kind of outrun the kill, if you're trying to escape. Cut Loose is a very good perk that I would highly recommend that you use. Again, it's one of those perks that you don't really see many people using, but it does hold a lot of value, and it is a very, very solid perk. Coming in at the number 3 spot, it's actually a perk that I very rarely use, but again, holds a lot of value. I have used it before. It is a solid perk. It's Bite the Bullet. When healing, you and the survivor you're healing make no noise, including grunts of pain. There is no noise notification on failed healing skill checks, and healing regresses by only 1%. Again, if you are using some kind of healer build, this is actually a very good perk that you might want to try out, because whenever you're healing someone, there are a lot of grunts of pain, a lot, and this kind of just gets rid of that. So if the killer is nearby, then you are safe. You're gonna be fine. They're not gonna hear you, and that is, well, it is useful. Coming in at the number 2 spot, and I've actually not used this perk, but I know it's one that a lot of people don't use, but is again stupidly useful, and it's called Breakout. When within 5 meters of a carried survivor, you gain haste status effect, moving at 7% increased speed. The carried survivor wiggle speed is also increased by 25%. This can be stupidly useful if you have a team who is willing to sacrifice themselves, getting hit, so people can get off the killer when they're, being carried. This is, again, a very underrated perk that just not a lot of people use, but it does hold a lot of value. And something like this can actually be really useful for the end game as well. If you're trying to get all survivors to escape at the end, Breakout is probably one of the better perks to be using. And again, another perk, and this is the final perk at the number 1 spot. It's one that I've actually never used, but again, you just very rarely see people using it. It's Light-Footed. When you are healthy, this perk activates. Your running footsteps are silent. A lot of the time in Dead by Daylight, you are spending the game running around. And for this to be a perk, where your running footsteps are silent. Very, very useful. If you have any suggestions, if you think there are even more underrated perks, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you also so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful or anything like that, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and put the post notifications on. Thank you also so much for watching. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.